Okay, so, we go into these, now, we're going to go into a lot of other witches, and witches stories, we have a whole big month here to waste time. Okay, so, 1700s, let me get a little bit about witches. 1700s, they used to be, call them devil worshippers. There was no formal proof. There's never been any formal proof on that. You know, meaning of which is a supernatural that can do powerful things. Many of them are poor to just kidding about middle class struggles, and they give up a lot to help people, and this is how they get their gift. But there's been no, I'll go into Salem, Massachusetts. We'll take that another day. I want to go into a gypsy soul. And this was told to me a long time ago. And then it was rehashed by a good friend of mine, Mr. 100. And I often forget about it. But today was an awakening call. And something did happen today that will be based on this little bit of information that I will give to the public. Gypsies are, free spirited, full of life, like a rolling stone, don't let their feet grass go, always up and moving around and doing things, and very kind, very giving, very godly, and believe in God and Jesus and the angels, and very, very free-spirited people. They don't have much in life, but they always get what they want, or they get enough just to cover it. And there's several stories I can tell you throughout my life how I've been blessed. And, it's just a gift. It's just so hard to explain. But, most of the gypsies are down at the Baltics, and there's some down in Italy, down at the Boot. The Baltic ones are very, very nice, and there's a lot of down by Russia. So in Yugoslavia and Ukraine and Russia and down at the Boot and Italy. They're pretty fierce. Those ones down at the Boot in Italy, they can throw what is called a meluk, and or perform it or whatever. And most Italians carry it, especially if they're 100% Italian. And it is to see if you have any curses on you. And then if somebody's bothering you, it can be that these, if you can have the ability to do it, you can, and they're hurting you or hurting your family, you can put a curse on them. Now, that's fine and good. What I am is a gypsy. And pretty much footloose, happy, free. But, I was told this as a little girl. I took money out of my piggy bank because this girl, Jennifer, in my class did not have money to buy a dress for the play. And I broke my piggy bank, and I had like $40 in there. And in the 70s, that's big money. And I put it in an envelope and wrote this big note to Jennifer and, take this and use this. Well, lo and behold, we come home from school. And this is like second grade, okay? So I'm 7. And the phone rings, and it's Jennifer's mother. And Jennifer, she didn't know where this money, these 220s, came from. She went to school, and she came home with 220s. And then she found a note, and Jennifer got punished for taking the money and telling her that she was poor. Her mother had a very good job, an RN nurse, and her dad had a very good job at the steel mills. So they were well taken care of. And, the mother was very embarrassed, and I just did it out of the kindness of my heart. I mean, it really, truly, I guess I can't remember, but I guess I really did feel bad for her. And my mom refused to take the money back because my mom was so old school. She read the Bible 10 times over, one time backwards. She was a clairvoyant herself. And, we just had a really strong faith in God and in our house. So it goes, and she's sitting on the steps talking to this mother, Jennifer's mother. And, Jennifer's like, she's my best friend. She's my best friend in elementary school. And, the mother says, well, I feel bad, Mrs. Knight, because that's my maiden name, Knight. And, I feel bad, Mrs. Knight, and my mom said to her simply, that's her gift. And it comes from God. And for me to take the money back, it wouldn't be Sharon. Sharon wouldn't feel right. I wouldn't feel right. That's my child. She's a very giving child. She does without so other people can have. My first husband always would say, you're a philanthropist or something like that. You work with no self-gain. You just help people. I always got teased about it. But, Mrs. Jennifer said, she says, I don't want you to think this and that. And it carried on the phone. And she said, well, tell me what the little girl likes to do. Because she says, I can't, just take this $40. This is ridiculous. And my mom says, well, she likes to do arts and crafts. Well, lo and behold, the next day there was a big, big package at my door. And it was filled with construction paper, Play-Doh, and markers, and all kinds of goodies to do arts and crafts, paints and glitter. And I had a ball with that. And very, very good people. And my mom was never disciplined me. That was my money, and I was allowed to do anything I wanted with it within good reason. What it was a 7-year-old going to think of to do with money, and so it be done, and it was just done. And that type of giving always comes back to you. My aunt would always say to me, what you put into the universe, you'll get out of it. If you put something bad in it, it's going to come back to you. Put something good in it, it's going to come back to you. And my son is a very, if he's, whenever something's wrongfully done or he's accused or something goes wrong, it's like within a week, that person, it's amazing. Something happens or is put in his place. It's called karma. It's called karma. And it does exist. It does exist. So, I forgot about all these things, because I went through a bad marriage, and, I had some kind of heavy spell put on me. You have an aura or something cracked it. So I had like 10 years of bad luck, 11 years of bad luck. It was a really rough time. And I sort of lost that. And then I got back to it, and I was never really worried, even though I had to work very hard, 3 jobs to keep a roof over my kids' heads, and work very hard. I met a beautiful man, Joseph, and we had a beautiful marriage. And he was very sickly. He got sick very early in our years of being married. And, whatever, it just would be amazing. We struggle so hard, and and one day I got up and I just said, Joe, just sit there, I'll be right back. And he said, well, where are you going? I said, well, we need money, don't we? And he just looked at me and said, don't move, because I didn't want him to fall. And he was quite a bit older than me, I think, 28, 30 years older than me. And racketeer. He sat there, and I went down with Fat Angelo. And I said, come on, I need money. And I often saw my mom do this too, as a little girl. And I went down. Fat Angelo said, I'm gonna go park the car. You know what I mean? Big Cadillac he had. And so I go into this casino, and I go to the end cap, and I pull it twice, and I hit for $2,800. I take the money. I made Angelo at the door. He said, I didn't even get to play. I said, I'm done. I won. He could not believe it. And, I've helped several people, that month. And I went on a limb, and I got it right back. I got it 10 times back what I gave. So it does work that way, especially for a gypsy. Now, once again, as soon as I got that money, I did not give it back to the casino, but I went and I helped a friend that was in need of money, and I helped her out. A whole lot. I had to pay my bills. I was like, like $1,800 in the negative in my checking account. And, braces, this, that, shoes, snowball, car insurance. Oh, please, I went through the ringer. That was that. And a little bit of soul food for me, too, and Joe. And, this is how it works. Gypsies often wish for things. And when they wish for them, they're often granted, because it's not like gypsies are very humble. There's bad ones in every group, every kind of, I don't even know what you want to call it, origin you have. It's bad and good everywhere. But they are very humble, so we never ask for like a whole lot, but it'll be given to us somehow, some way. It just really, it comes about, and we're well taken care of. And that's by the Lord and Jesus and, God, and because we help people. We tell them, we see things, and we can help them. And we're happy. We don't, cry usually over spilt milk or that. And, I think things got a little tense out here in California. And, I lost it for a little bit. But I'm getting it back. And to my recollection, it was a matter that happened with another meal today, and it brought back my memory on how, what my life's about. And so he jogged it, and then Mr. 100 jogged it, and, Mr. 100 said, I had to research, Sharon, why you're always picked on, and Anthony. And I said, well, because we're of God, and there's a lot of evil. And he said, I understand that. But he says, you're a gypsy. And I don't tell people a lot of that. And I said, yeah, I am. And there's a lot of fear gypsies. And, he said, well, you get usually what you want, but you never ask for a lot. And he said, why don't you? Why don't you? You help so many people. Don't you think they'll let you hit the big one? And I said, I said, not just enough to get by, and just enough to make me happy and live comfortable. And I'm happy to make other people happy. I don't have to, and my children, as long as they're happy. So I lost a little bit. I'm getting it back again. And, like I said, it was jogged to me again. This 100, and I remember this same conversation at the table with my aunt, my special aunt. And gosh, she she said now you wish for something, you're going to get it. She says, but don't break a promise to anyone, because your wish will not go through. You know, they never be jealous. And I'm never really jealous of anybody. Really, I'm never really jealous of anybody. As far as being rich, you know, yeah, I have that girl thing a little bit, but I think all women do. But and men have that possession of their women too. So, but he said yes. He said, yeah, you're picked on very, because evil's always trying to attack you. You're God, and he says you often don't help yourself to get out of situations, and I don't. I sit there and I just wait, and somehow it does work out. It does work out. Another story, once again in the negative, and Joe's deathly ill, and all my utilities were getting shut off by Friday. I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? And I'm like, it's Thursday. Friday's the deadline. I get a knock on the door. I was a big reader out in the East Coast. And I get a knock on the door, and it's a client of mine. She says, I'd like to see you in the back for a minute. And I said, oh, God. I said, I'm so busy. It's a really bad time. She said, just come out. I went out, and I knew instantly what she was going to hand me. I saw the bank envelope. It was exactly what I needed for four utilities to stay on. And I read some people in the field, and I read some people. I read her, and I read some people in the field, and they all pitched in together, and they gave me, I think it was $1,000 in the envelope. So just want to say, God takes care of the little birdies, and outside, He'll take care of you and me. And you might think it's the worst day of your life, and you might think it's the really bad. Never take the weasel way out, though. You're not going to be happy, and it's just not right. And I know some people do that, and it's so wrong. And I would never promise somebody something if I wasn't going to do it. When I tell you I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And I will. But it's been crazy here, so I sort of lost that. And some people call us magical, some people call us fairies. That everything we touch. Anthony swears I can turn on and off the air conditioning by myself. I'll say there's going to be a ring at the door. The doorbell rings. The phone's going to ring. The phone rings. It's just a gift, and it's just because I'm real perceptive, and I raised my kids, and buried a husband and divorced a husband, so things are pretty calm right now. I think I thought they were, but I do get upset, and it's just I got real happy after I got upset today, because I figured, wow, what David told me across the table, 100 told me, it's going to happen. Now, if you cross a gypsy, for sure the bad luck goes into your lap. Into your lap it goes. So, because, especially if you promised, and because we feel so much with our heart, and I got double whammy. I'm a Virgo and a gypsy, so I get double whammied, and I just feel so much love, and I just put so much energy into people and things like that. Not as much as I used to. I don't bother with them anymore, but I value a lot of friendships, and but if you cross that gypsy, for sure, the bad luck swings in your area, and especially if you did it deliberately, or meanly, or you hurt that child of God or that person. He says it right in the Bible: "Don't touch my gifted. Don't touch them. I put them down there because I can't be everywhere, you know." And so I never really screwed anybody. I can't even think of anybody I screwed. I constantly get screwed. I mean, I'll have people here, they'll walk out that door and they'll never come back. That's truly fucking amazing to me. We're fun, we're laughing, we're having a good time, and they don't even come back down again. I mean, that's pretty scary. It's pretty scary when everybody turns their back on you and you're just like, going crazy. And we're picked on a lot too. But we get the blessings in the end. So I'm going to, where else am I going? Oh, okay. I'm going to go for, I need to get something to eat. And remember, never cross a gypsy, a fortune teller, a clairvoyant. Never go to a fortune teller that uses the devil for help. And I don't even like those tarot cards. I don't use tarot cards. I don't need to. I'm just gifted. But I don't like those tarot cards either. You bring the devil in the house when you bring those tarot cards in. They're bad news. And that Ouija board's bad news too. Stay away from those things. And, we're put here on earth to help people. You can always DM me if you want to hear more about my gift or whatever you want, or if you need help, just DM me and I'll get your message sooner or later. I'm going to try to enjoy the rest of my life. It was very hectic here. It still is. It still is. But it's getting better. It's getting better now. I just remembered Mr. David, 100, sitting at that table. But in the end, he said, you always get what you want, or just enough God gives you, just to get by. Or he really takes care of you to make sure it's the right plan. I had some serious money stolen from me. And And I'm going to get it back. And, but anyway, it's going to take time. And, the quote from Tolley is, when everybody's not going to have that money, you're going to be sitting pretty on that money. And I almost gave that money away to a person that's walking away from me. And you see how God intercepted that football and stopped that. Even though it was a stealing of money, he intercepted that football because he knew I'd get that money back. What would have happened if I would have given that money to that person? Inquiring minds want to know. Oh well, old hash. Don't live in the past. Live for the future. Ciao.